friends. Thanks for listening to the first ever episode of Bizarrely Carly. I'm Carly, and I'm super excited for you to go along on this new adventure with me. I've never done podcasting before, and this is all very, very new. So I really appreciate your patience with me as I learn what exactly it is I'm doing here. I hope you enjoy. So I was trying to figure out what I could do to kind of start off this podcast and also pay tribute to 2018. And I figured for my very first podcast, I would kind of go over 31 things I learned this year. I choose 31 because I am 31. Seems like a good number to go with. And I feel like there was a lot that I learned this year. So this is in no specific order. One of the things that I learned was that laughter with friends and family can honestly be the best medicine. If you're dealing with health issues, whether it be physical or mental, or you're going through a hard time, letting those people in, even when you feel like you want to be alone, that can actually be just the medicine you need. And that's coming from somebody, takes quite a bit of medicine. I honestly didn't really notice myself feeling happier, anything changing until, I really started to make memories and start living life and letting people into my world. And now I've made friends with some of the greatest people, and I'm really appreciating time with my family more. Life is about memories. That's really what it's about. It's about learning and creating memories, not repeating the same days over and over. The next thing, number 2, sometimes we have to break apart and crumble so that we can rebuild stronger and more resilient. I've definitely seen some of my lowest days over the past year, and I would definitely say receiving a diagnosis and then dealing with that and trying to get the proper treatment to overcome that. It can be a very difficult thing to adjust to, not only the diagnosis, but also understanding, hey, now I have to take some sort of, ownership over, these things that I'm doing. There's a reason, and if there's an answer, something that can possibly fix it and make it better, I've got a responsibility to do that for myself and for those people around me. So, I definitely went through some very dark days, and my family did as well, unfortunately, because of that. And at the same time, I worked to try and make myself stronger. And I feel in breaking down, I was able to put the pieces back maybe where they belonged instead of where they just happened to have fallen. Number 3, happiness is found in the smallest of things. That's for ourselves and for things we can offer to others. Number 4, being mindful is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves, and also one of the hardest things to do. Part of my treatment for borderline personality disorder was to attend therapy called DBT, which is dialectical behavior therapy. And one of the things it touches on quite a bit is mindfulness, and I think it's something that every single person could apply to their lives and definitely see a positive change. There's quite a few exercises that I'll probably go over at some point that I learned. I definitely have found that is something that can really help keep us calm, especially when we're dealing with a lot of stress. Number 5, our physical health is strongly linked to our mental health. It's more of like a circle. And the more active we are, it's not even about our physical health, but our mental health. We're definitely more happy and positive and confident and productive. And I feel like the real struggle with that is understanding that you really have to fight for that balance. You have to fight even when you're mentally not well to get out there and physically work out, because it's going to come around full circle and in turn help you feel better mentally. This is something that is more recent that I'm remembering from back before when I had lost a significant amount of weight. I was in a healthy way. I was going to the gym, and I definitely have gained that back. But I remember when it was over a period of a year, during that time, I was probably at my optimal level for my mental health. Like I was doing really well mentally. And I know that working out and being healthy physically definitely had a lot to do with that. So it is something we have to push ourselves to do more. Number 6, the best way to get over stress is to take a moment to be a kid again. Get down, play with Play-Doh, doodle, draw, laugh. The kids in my life help me feel happier and less stressed. Forget about all those adult issues, but only for a moment. Number 7, we choose what we want to see, live in a constant state of denial. I definitely feel that's true. I think it's a defense mechanism almost to live in a state of denial. So that's just a revelation that I felt I had last year. 8, concerts are magical. Absolutely. That's all. That's all that can be said about that. Arthritis is not an old person's problem. I don't want to offend anybody with my wording there, but I, in my own ignorance, thought it was until I developed it. And now I definitely sympathize a lot more with my grandmother who's had it for years. And I feel ashamed of my ignorance, not realizing it could affect younger people. So if you deal with arthritis, I'm sorry that you have to go through that because it's not fun. Number 9, dreaming only gets you so far. You need to work hard. You should be able to confidently say, hey, I'm doing everything I can that I can think of. Because as long as you're giving in your 100% effort, eventually I feel, I'm not there yet, but I feel you're more likely to get results. I just want to test that out myself. Again, that's something that I've learned implementing it. Well, we'll get into that later. All right, number 10. Most of the things we're scared of aren't as scary as they seem. Really, it's all about perspective. I'm scared of, what am I scared of? Sloths. I'm scared of sloths. And most people around me think they're adorable, and I'm scared of them. So I see this fear in something that other people think is cuddly. And then I want to fly a plane, and my girlfriend is scared of heights. It's all about perspective, and I think that's something we almost have to remember when we're faced with something that we have to deal with. There could be more to it that we're not seeing that could come out on the other side as a positive thing. Not everything is as negative as we think it's going to be. Number 11, you can never know too much. Search for the lesson in every challenge. I guess I kind of just touched on that also. Just try and pull what you can out of every negative situation, as hard as it is to do. None of this is easy. That's the crappy part, really. 12, it's okay to think of yourself. Sometimes take care of yourself. It benefits everyone. Listen to your body. So if we stretch ourselves thin, we're not going to have a lot to offer others. Maybe we'll be crabbier, angrier. That's certainly the case that I started to notice with me. You have nothing to lose by not giving up. You have everything to lose by giving up. The answer is simple. Yeah, that's self-explanatory. That's something, again, I got to keep reminding myself every day. I can sit here and say it to you, and I still have to remind myself. It's work. The most work is your inner dialogue. The most work you're going to have to put into making your dreams come true is a constant conversation you're going to have with yourself, telling you it's worth it. That kind of leads into my next one, number 14. We are our own worst enemies, critics, bullies, but we need to be our own heroes, friends, strength, and voice. This is something I think every single person struggles with. And it's going to be something, again, one of those things you have to work on every single time you have the opportunity to. Number 15, we need to be our best selves every day. I'm not sitting here saying I'm at the point where I have successfully implemented this, I'm at the point where I'm saying, hey, this is something I've learned and I know to be true. Number 16, support is everything. You have to have a good support system. You have to let people in. That can be very difficult sometimes. Even when you think there's not people around, there's always somebody. Sometimes you just can't see it. So make sure you open your eyes and look and reach out. Number 17, sometimes people just need to feel validated. Sometimes people just need to hear it's okay. Or I understand that you feel this way. Validate other people's feelings, dreams, thoughts. Number 18, try to live without judgment. This is also something I learned through my therapy. And it's, again, one of those hard things to do, but it's so worth it. Once you make these things your habit, it becomes a lot easier to implement it. It's always hard at first. You have to be patient. You put in the work, but it gets easier. I know, because a lot of these things on this list that I have started to implement were really very difficult to do at first. So you just got to keep going. Here we go. I just said this. Learning is one thing. The hard part is implementing your knowledge into your life, which is basically exactly what I just said. The next one, 20. It's okay to have cheat days, but every day cannot be a cheat day. Well, no, because if you do that, then you do what I did, and you will go from losing, spending a year losing weight just to find it back tenfold. So, yes, every day cannot be a cheat day. 21, being silly is just as important as going to work. If your job is to be silly, you'll live a long, happy life. I honestly just made this up. I have no idea if this is true. I feel like for me it would be. 22, there's such a thing as too many socks. Yeah, because usually they're odd socks. I don't even know why I put this in here. This is silly. 23, tell people if you love them. You're proud of them. You think their hair is nice. Tell people how you feel. You don't want to have that feeling, or something happens, God forbid, to somebody you love and you never told them. And I try to tell everybody around me how I feel all the time. 24, therapy can work if you work. Yeah, you have to put in the work. And if you do, it can be the best thing. It's almost like, I don't even know how to explain it. I never thought something that wasn't medication could change my life in the way that it did. So definitely was hard work, but you have to put it in. You have to put it in. 25, fight for your health, physical and mental. You know what you need or what is wrong or what you're feeling. Fight for a solution. If you go to a doctor and you're not happy with what you hear, go to another doctor. Your body, what it's telling you. But you also have to be open to listen to what the doctors are saying. And definitely do your research on your own. Fight for the proper solution for yourself. 26, write your thoughts. You'll surprise yourself. If you're angry, sad, happy, whatever the feeling is, write it down. Going back and reflecting on those moments can actually be quite inspiring, at least for myself. Feed your senses. It goes straight to your soul. So, when you're walking through the woods, close your eyes and listen. Look around and take in every single color. Breathe deep. Smell the moss. Smell the wet dirt, the worms. Take it all in. I've been in an awful mood. I've been grumpy, especially before I was on my medication and went to therapy. I was grumpy all the time. But we would go down for walks along the beach or through the woods, and coming home, I would be calm. I'd feel at peace. And I'd have to be in the moment, taking in everything. When I went to New York City for the first time, Shandy told me, pay attention to the smells. Don't just look around. What do you hear? Close your eyes. Taste the foods. I mean, not all the smells are pleasant. But I can remember. I can remember now. I loved it. 28, babies can soften even the angriest of people. no matter how bad of a day I'm having or how angry I'm feeling or sad, I look at baby's face and it can just instantly make me smile. And I've seen it happen with other people too, people who I know were very unhappy and angry at the world. And I'm not even saying they didn't have the reason to be, but then they'll look at a smiling baby and their face lights up. It's pretty magical. 29. I will always be late. Now, I'm not just laying down, throwing in the towel, and saying I'm going to stop trying to be on time. But honestly, I've kind of just come to the point of accepting that that might just be a part of my personality somehow. Because no matter what I do, no matter how hard I try, I am late almost every single time I go anywhere. So, yeah, why stress out and be grumpy about it and just kind of do the best I can? Number 30, feel music. Don't just listen to it. Oh my goodness. Have you ever heard a song? Just close your eyes and you can feel like it feels like the music's going through your body. It can be one of the best therapies in my opinion. 31, there's no such thing as too much love. Your heart has no limit. I honestly thought my heart was at capacity because I love the people in my life so much. And then in February, my nephew was born, and I realized that your heart just grows. It gets bigger and bigger to fit more love in it. And I think that's a good thing. And I think some people out there are scared to love. A lot of times because they're scared of loss, but I feel they're missing out on one of the most beautiful things in the world. So after I finished my list of the 31 things I learned last year, I took it to Facebook and I put the question out there to everybody else to see if through other people's experiences and lessons learned, maybe I could learn something. Or maybe even recognize that I've learned more than I even realized. And I did get a couple of responses. Grace, it's okay to not be okay. And being different doesn't mean you're crazy. I really think the first step into getting help and starting the process of becoming the best you can be, I think you really have to get real with yourself and you have to accept your situation and kind of come to peace with it in order to take that next step in reaching out and getting help. That happened with me, and I can definitely relate to that. Accepting, okay, this is the problem. I'm not okay. How do we fix it? Being different doesn't mean you're crazy. Just because you look at the world differently, you process things differently. I don't really like, I don't really prefer the term crazy. I know exactly what she means by that, though. Broken. Just because your brain functions differently doesn't mean you're broken. There's hope. And sometimes it just takes time. Brooke, to try and learn to love myself more because chances are no one else sees the things I hate or think are negative about myself. Absolutely. Oh my gosh. When I read this, I was like, yeah, I get that completely because I've been told myself that I do this, and we're very quick to compliment other people. We're very quick to appreciate other people's beauty, but we're just as quick to look at ourselves and pick ourselves apart. And absolutely, I actually was thinking about this not that long ago. This is definitely A great lesson learned. Ashley, that blood doesn't always make you family, and that it's okay to cut someone off who's negatively impacting your life, even if they are family. I think we have that inner circle of people that stay close to us, that we confide in, that confide in us. And I think as long as those relationships, whether it be friends or family, I feel like those people who are in that close inner circle are considered more like family, even if they are friends. It's a privilege to be there in people's lives, not a right. And if you're giving more to somebody than you can emotionally or physically, like if it's taking a toll on you mentally and emotionally, or it's doing harm or taking joy out of your life, then they need to be bumped out. We need to take care of ourselves first so that we can be the best people we can be. Don't forget to check out Bizarrely Carly on Facebook. I'll be setting up an Instagram page soon, and I'll definitely be looking for you to engage in some conversations with me. If anybody would like to be a guest, or if you're even just looking for advice, although I'm no professional, definitely shoot me a message privately or right there on the page, and I'll definitely be touching on that the following week's episode. Until then. Wait. 1 second. I have a real quick story to tell you. So, I was plugging in my faulty lamp, and as I was plugging it in, I said, "Oh, if I get electrocuted," and then I got distracted as I plugged it in. My last words would have been, "if I got electrocuted." And I thought, how perfect.